What's going on, Salty Crew? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello, my name is Nicole, and today I'm going to be showing you what I do on a regular, normal meal prepping day. Now, I've seen a lot of meal prep videos, and I know of a lot of people who like to meal prep and individually package each one of their meals. I am not about that life. If you want to do that, great. It's just not really my thing. I prefer instead to make, for instance, a big batch of rice, a big batch of beans, a sauce to go on the side, and maybe cut up some veggies so I can throw them in there last minute. And when I am ready to eat my meal, I have all that ready to go, and I literally just have to pop it in a bowl or on a plate, put it in the microwave, heat it up, and then drizzle a sauce on top, put those veggies on there, and I'm good to go. It just makes it feel a little bit more fun and exciting and less like, bleh, I'm eating a prepared meal. You know what I mean? I will be showing you how to make 4 meals with this meal prep video, so they can either be lunch or dinner, and you can repurpose them to make even more meals. So the possibilities are endless. I'm also going to be showing you how I make a couple different sauces and how I prep my veggies just to make things easier throughout my week. So without any further ado, let's get started. I love to make dressings and sauces at the beginning of the week so I can jazz up my meals with them and put them on greens or bootables. This dressing is a tahini-based Caesar dressing from Kate Flowers. It is delicious. It was on one of her videos. I tried it out and I loved it. It has very little ingredients, super easy to make. You just mix it all together and then stir everything together in a mason jar. And I like quadruple the recipe because in hers, she only makes a little bit for like one salad, but I quadrupled it so I have enough for the entire week plus some. It'll probably last me like 2 weeks, honestly, because it does make a lot. You don't need that much. It's pretty flavorful. So I will leave the link to her video about how to make it in the description box below. And then I usually cut some veggies so I can easily just pop them into my steamer and steam them really quick for dinner or lunch. So I'm just cutting up some broccoli. So I usually cut up broccoli or cauliflower and stuff like that, so it's just very easy to access throughout the week. I don't have to worry about cutting it when I'm in a rush for dinner or something like that. It just makes things a lot easier. And then I place them in a large plastic bag, and don't worry, I always reuse my plastic bags because they come in handy and I don't like to waste the plastic. So I just keep this in my fridge and use it as I need it. And I also cut up romaine lettuce, any other greens, kale, red leaf lettuce that I'm gonna use throughout the week. So I cut it up, trim it, and I dunk it in a big bowl of cold water, let it soak, let all of the dirt and the grit sink to the bottom of the bowl. And then I spin it in a salad spinner, which gets it pretty dry, but to go the extra step, I drain it on a paper towel after I spin it and just dry it some more because wet lettuce is the worst, so I like to get it just as dry as I can. Next up, I make a big batch of beans, and my obsession lately has been to make beans from scratch. So I just use about 16 ounces of black beans and then a mixture of onions, celery, and carrots, and I just dice them up really finely, have them ready to go, dump them in with a can of diced tomatoes, tomato paste, salt, and vegetable stock. If you want the exact recipe, you can watch my nacho video. I go through the amounts and everything that I put into my beans in the process, and it's super easy and convenient, especially when you have an Instant Pot, which is what I will be cooking my beans in. It's like a crock pot and a pressure cooker had a baby, and you just set it and forget it. And along with my beans, I make some rice, so I'm just doing some white jasmine rice in a pot on the stove because I only have one Instant Pot, otherwise I would do it in my Instant Pot. And also, white rice takes no time at all. Another big part of my meal prep for the week is freezing my bananas. I let them ripen until they're nice and spotty because they're optimal for digestion when they're this ripe, and they're extra sweet, which I love. So after I've peeled them all, I place them in the freezer on top of some saran wrap so that they can freeze separately and not be as stuck together. And then I place them in a gallon Ziploc bag after they've been frozen overnight or for a few hours. And now I have frozen bananas for the entire week for banana ice cream or smoothie bowls. Another thing I like to do is make my own tortilla chips. using just plain corn tortillas. So I just cut them into chip pieces, and then I place them on a parchment paper lined baking sheet, and I bake them in the oven at 375 degrees for about 15 minutes. And you want them to be nice and crispy and golden brown. And this is the finished product that we're going for. And we obviously have to have something to dip our tortilla chips in, so I'm going to make some potato nacho cheese with, of course, potatoes. I'm using Idaho potatoes here, and then I'm just gonna dice them up, and I'm also going to dice up some carrots as well. Trim them, peel them, dice them into the same size as the potato chunks. And then I'm also going to add about a quarter or half of an onion. So I'm gonna bring the carrots and potatoes up to a simmer and simmer them until tender. And then once they're mostly tender, I'll add in the onion and cook it until everything is nice and tender and easy to blend. Then I'm gonna drain everything and make sure I save the cooking liquid so I can add it in later. And then I'm going to add the potatoes, carrots, and onion to my Vitamix, along with a splash of the cooking liquid, some lemon juice, garlic powder, chili powder, tomato paste, splash of almond milk, salt, some sriracha, and then I'm going to blend until smooth. And I accidentally forgot to blend in the most important part, the nutritional yeast. So I put in a lot. I mean, I'm talking like a full cup. So I blend that in as well. And then to make it extra nacho cheesy, I saute some diced onions along with some canned tomatoes and some green chilies. And then I pour in my nacho cheese, only half of it. And the other half of the cheese sauce we'll use for later for mac and cheese. Then I stir it all together in the pan, and now it's time to taste test to see if it needs anything else. So I take a chip and try some of the cheese, and I'm gonna add in some more lemon juice to brighten it up. You could also add more salt or more sriracha if you want it spicier. Just taste and adjust to your preferences. Another sauce that I love to make is a creamy chipotle sauce made from silken tofu, so it's a little lower in fat. So I add some silken tofu, some chipotle and adobo, some lime juice, some cilantro, some salt and pepper, and some garlic cloves. And I mix that all together in the food processor until it's nice and smooth. You can adjust the consistency by adding in some almond milk. And that's all there is to it. It's really easy and super delicious. Goes great on burritos or burrito bowls. Now it's time to make a curry Dahl that can go over rice or veggies or whatever you want. So now I'm just going to prep all my veggies that I'm going to be putting in there. So I got some sweet potatoes, carrots, celery, tons of garlic, and onion. And I'm going to dry saute it since I don't want to use oil. So I'm just going to saute it in a clean soup pot, a large pot, and then add in vegetable stock or water as needed. Then I add in the sweet potatoes, carrots, and celery, saute that for a few minutes, cover it and let it steam and cook down a bit, and then I add in my garlic cloves. Now it's time to add in some spices. So I have some coriander and cumin, lots of curry powder, and I'm also adding in a couple tablespoons of this harissa paste. Stir that all around and then add in some vegetable stock. Then you're gonna simmer until the lentils are fully cooked. And when everything is mostly cooked and thickened, you can add in some coconut cream or coconut milk. I started out by just stirring in a little bit, and then I just said fuck it and added in the entire can. And the very last step is I add in some broccoli. You can use frozen broccoli. I'm just using the stuff that I cut up earlier. And cook it for a couple more minutes, and then you can cool it down and store it in your fridge. Should last for about 4 to 5 days. So the first meal that you can create with all of this food is a burrito bowl. So we got our rice, our homemade black beans, our nacho cheese. We have some romaine lettuce. I chopped up some scallions, some black olives, salsa, the chipotle cream sauce, avocado, cilantro, and my personal favorite, a sprinkle of tahini, which gives it a nice zesty pop of flavor. The next meal you can do is the lentil curry Dahl over some rice or potatoes. Feel free to top yours off with some fresh greens for those extra nutrients. I decided to go with some Swiss chard. The next meal you can make is a baked potato topped with the black beans, the chipotle cream sauce, scallions, and avocado. And then for the mac and cheese, I'm using red lentil pasta from Trader Joe's. You're gonna cook it as the package instructs you to, and then I'm gonna heat up the other half of my cheese sauce and pour the pasta right in. So these are 4 ready-to-go concrete meals that you can make from all of the food that I just showed you how to prep, and feel free to mix and match. You can add on the creamy curry Dahl to the potato or the pasta. The possibilities are really endless. You could take this in a lot of different directions. You can make nachos instead of a burrito bowl. So this meal prep video is kind of like a choose your own adventure. Thank you guys so much for watching this week. If you like this video, give me your thumbs and let me know in the comments below. Also tell me if you want more of these type of videos. I just find them very helpful. I'm very passionate about food prep and meal prep in general. I was trained in a classical French culinary school, and I've worked in lots of different restaurants as a prep cook and a line cook, so I know how it goes. I'm very comfortable with meal prep, and it just makes life so much easier. Thanks again for watching this week. Don't forget to take care of yourself, eat good food, and prep your meals. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.